Across Europe, some of the most beautiful towns are facing a problem that tourism alone cannot solve. Behind stone walls, medieval streets, mountain valleys, and postcard-perfect squares, permanent populations are shrinking as younger generations leave for larger cities. The result is an extraordinary contradiction. Places that millions of travelers would consider dream destinations are searching for something more valuable than visitors, people willing to actually live there. Nowhere has this story captured more attention than Italy. From the mountains of Sicily to the hills of Sardinia and the villages of the Apennines, communities have experimented with incentives, inexpensive properties, and regeneration programs designed to bring life back to quiet streets. From above, these towns can appear almost untouched by time. Terracotta roofs gather around church towers while olive groves, vineyards, forests, and distant mountains spread outward in every direction. Sicily contains some of the most dramatic examples. Away from Palermo and the crowded coastal resorts, ancient settlements rise across rugged interior landscapes where abandoned houses sometimes stand beside homes occupied by the same families for generations. Towns such as Sambuca di Sicilia became internationally known through highly publicized low-cost property initiatives. The homes themselves often require substantial renovation, but the larger purpose has always been about restoring neighborhoods rather than simply selling cheap buildings. The landscape surrounding these communities is part of their extraordinary appeal. Drone footage can follow empty country roads through vineyards and wheat fields before climbing toward hilltop settlements glowing beneath the Mediterranean sun. Sardinia has confronted similar demographic pressures in some of its smaller communities. Beyond its famous turquoise beaches, the island contains an enormous mountainous interior filled with forests, stone villages, valleys, and landscapes rarely seen by international visitors. Some Sardinian initiatives have offered financial support connected to moving into smaller municipalities, subject to specific conditions. These programs can change over time, but they reveal how seriously certain communities are taking the challenge of population decline. Seen from the air, inland Sardinia feels worlds away from the luxury resorts along its coast. Roads curve through enormous empty valleys, villages appear between mountains, and old stone houses cluster around squares where everyday life moves at a much slower pace. The story continues across the Adriatic in Croatia, a country often imagined through Dubrovnik and its spectacular island coastline. Travel inland, however, and the scenery opens into forests, farmland, river valleys, mountains, and smaller settlements facing very different demographic realities. Some Croatian towns and municipalities have experimented with extremely inexpensive home sales or housing incentives intended to attract new residents. The headline price may sound astonishing, but eligibility rules, renovation commitments, and residency conditions can be significant. For the right person, however, the attraction extends far beyond inexpensive property. Aerial views reveal red-roofed villages surrounded by green fields, quiet rivers winding through countryside, and mountain ranges rising beyond communities almost untouched by mass tourism. Spain presents the same challenge on a much larger scale. Huge sections of the country's interior have experienced decades of population decline as employment and younger residents increasingly concentrate around major cities and coastal regions. This phenomenon is sometimes associated with what Spaniards call España vaciada, emptied Spain. Across parts of Castilla y León, Aragon, Galicia, Asturias, and other regions, beautiful communities sit among enormous landscapes with far fewer residents than generations before. The scenery makes that emptiness particularly striking. Medieval villages appear on distant ridges, narrow roads cross golden plains, and mountain settlements emerge from deep green valleys where only a handful of rooftops interrupt the wilderness. Local governments and regional programs have explored different ways of encouraging settlement, entrepreneurship, remote work, and the restoration of rural housing. There is no single nationwide offer waiting for every foreign newcomer, but the direction is unmistakable. Many communities want residents who will participate in local life. Northern Spain may be especially surprising to anyone who pictures the country as endless Mediterranean sunshine. Asturias and Galicia reveal mist-covered mountains, dramatic Atlantic cliffs, emerald farmland, forests, rivers, and stone villages scattered through some of Europe's greenest countryside. For remote workers, families, entrepreneurs, and people seeking a radically different pace of life, these shrinking communities raise an intriguing possibility. Instead of competing for space in Europe's most expensive capitals, newcomers may discover places where their arrival is genuinely noticed. And this is only the beginning of the story. Beyond Italy, Croatia, and Spain are mountain communities, island settlements, and forgotten villages across Europe confronting the same question. What happens when an extraordinary place has everything except enough people to call it home? Across the border in Portugal, the contrast between booming coastal cities and the quieter interior can be remarkable. Beyond Lisbon, Porto, and the Algarve, enormous landscapes of cork forest, vineyards, mountains, and historic villages contain communities searching for ways to keep their populations alive. Central Portugal is particularly striking from the air. Stone villages cling to forested hills, rivers wind beneath medieval castles, and narrow roads disappear through valleys where the nearest major city can feel a world away. Some Portuguese municipalities and national initiatives have supported relocation, employment, entrepreneurship, or investment in lower-density regions. These are not simply invitations to collect money for moving into a picturesque village, but part of a broader effort to strengthen communities that have gradually lost residents. The Alentejo reveals the scale of the challenge beautifully. Whitewashed towns rise above rolling plains, cork oaks stretch toward the horizon, and hilltop castles overlook landscapes where settlements can be separated by vast stretches of open countryside. Farther north, Portugal becomes increasingly mountainous. Villages built from granite appear beside rivers and terraced fields, creating extraordinary opportunities for sweeping drone sequences that reveal just how much of the country exists beyond its famous coastline. Greece faces its own version of rural depopulation, particularly in remote villages and on smaller islands. While Athens and famous destinations such as Santorini attract enormous attention, other communities have watched permanent populations shrink over generations. On the mainland, the landscape can be spectacularly dramatic. Villages appear beneath enormous mountains, stone bridges cross forested gorges, and roads climb toward settlements where traditional houses seem almost absorbed into the surrounding wilderness. Some Greek communities and organizations have experimented with programs intended to encourage families or new residents to settle in places experiencing population decline. Individual schemes can be highly specific and temporary, making careful research essential before anyone begins packing. The Greek islands reveal an even more fascinating contradiction. Beyond Mykonos and Santorini are hundreds of inhabited and uninhabited islands, some with tiny communities surrounded by brilliant blue water, rugged mountains, secluded coves, and almost empty coastlines. For permanent residents, however, island beauty comes with practical realities. Ferry connections, healthcare, employment, schools, winter weather, and access to services can matter far more than the spectacular view seen during a summer holiday. The demographic challenge stretches northward into parts of the Balkans and Eastern Europe. Across Bulgaria, Romania, and neighboring regions, rural migration has left some villages with aging populations and rows of houses that no longer contain the families who once lived there. Bulgaria's countryside can feel especially undiscovered. Forested mountains surround traditional villages, enormous valleys extend beneath distant peaks, and roads pass monasteries, rivers, farmland, and settlements rarely included on conventional European itineraries. Romania offers an equally cinematic landscape. The Carpathian Mountains rise beyond Transylvanian villages, hayfields cover rolling hills, and fortified towns appear among forests that still stretch across huge areas of the country. Property in some rural parts of Eastern Europe can appear extraordinarily inexpensive compared with Western European capitals. Yet buying a house and obtaining the legal right to live permanently in a country are separate matters, particularly for Americans and other non-European Union citizens. That distinction is important throughout this journey. A town may desperately need residents, but immigration law is generally controlled at national level, meaning a cheap home, municipal incentive, or renovation grant does not automatically provide residency rights. For those who qualify through an appropriate visa or residence pathway, however, remote work has changed what rural repopulation could look like. Employment no longer needs to exist within walking distance of the village square if someone's career can travel with a laptop and a reliable internet connection. Imagine the possibilities from above. A restored stone home beneath the Italian mountains, a Spanish village surrounded by green valleys, a Portuguese hill town glowing at sunset, or a tiny Greek settlement overlooking an almost impossibly blue sea. But successful repopulation requires more than beautiful houses and new arrivals. Schools, healthcare, transportation, businesses, digital infrastructure, and genuine connections between newcomers and long-term residents determine whether these communities can become sustainable again. Europe's shrinking towns therefore represent something larger than a collection of cheap property opportunities. They are living communities trying to preserve local traditions, restore abandoned homes, support businesses, and prevent centuries of village life from quietly disappearing. And perhaps that is what makes these places so compelling. While much of Europe struggles with overcrowded landmarks and packed tourist centers, another Europe is waiting beyond the familiar trail, beautiful, peaceful, remarkably empty, and hoping that some of the people who discover it might decide not to leave.